Welcome back to this channel. So today I want to talk about something different, something personal, something that affects almost every single person watching this video right now. Not geopolitics, not war and empires. I want to talk about your money, or more precisely, why you don't have enough of it. Here is something that I find very strange. But before we dive deeply into this analysis, hit the like button and subscribe the channel just to make me a little happier. Subscribe now for new updates on international issues. Let us begin. America is the richest country in the history of human civilization. The American economy is the largest on the earth. American companies produce more wealth than most countries combined. The stock market keeps going up. GDP keeps growing. The headlines keep telling you the economy is booming. And yet, most Americans are broke. Yes, they are. 1 in 3 adults say their finances are going to get worse in 2026. 61% of Americans say the economy is on the wrong track. 40% of Americans are now paying for basic needs. Yes, they are paying groceries, healthcare, everyday expenses using borrowed money, and that even does not include credit card. Total credit card debt in America just hit $133 trillion. That is the highest number in American history, and the average interest rate on the debt is over 20%. So how is this possible? That debt is over 20%. This maze was built. It was built deliberately by people who benefit enormously from keeping you running. So let me explain now the 4 walls of this trap. Because this trap has 4 specific walls, and each wall makes the other walls stronger, and together they form a cage that is very hard to escape from on your own. Wall number 1, wages. Wages stopped growing, but prices never did. This is the foundation of the trap. And to understand it, I need to take you back to 1971. Because 1971 is a very important year that most people never learn about in school. Right? Before 1971, if you work hard in America, your wages went up every year. Not dramatically, but steadily. And importantly, they went up further. They went up faster than prices. So every year, your paycheck bought a little bit more than the year before. This is what economists call rising real wages. And this is what created the American middle class. But something happened in 1970. Corporations realized something. They realized that wages going up every year was cutting into their profit. So they started doing something very clever. They started moving factories. They started moving factories overseas to countries where workers were paid almost nothing, to Mexico, to China, to Southeast Asia, and they told the American workers, if you demand higher wages, we will move your job overseas. How can the richest country in the world have so many broke people? And that is exactly what I want to explain today. Because the answer is not what most people think. It is not that Americans are lazy. It is not that Americans spend too much. It is not about personal discipline or personal choices. The answer is a trap, a hidden economic trap. Design. I want to be very careful about this word design, to keep most Americans exactly where they are. Working hard, going deeper into debt, and never getting ahead. So let's begin. First, I want to give you a thought experiment, because I think this is the clearest way to understand what is happening. Imagine you are a rat in a maze, and in this maze there is food, and you run and you run, and you get closer and closer. But every time you are about to reach the food, the maze adds a new corridor, a new turn, a new obstacle, and the food gets a little further away. The rat is running so fast as it can. The rat is doing everything right. Okay, the problem is not the rat. Yes, the problem is not the rat. The problem is the maze. This is the American economy for most working Americans right now. You are running as fast as you can, working harder than ever, maybe working two jobs, maybe your partner is working too. And yet, somehow every month there is not enough. The food keeps moving further away, and the most important thing to understand this is not an accident. This changed everything because suddenly American workers had no bargaining power. The threat of outsourcing meant that workers could not demand raises. Unions became weaker and weaker, and real wages adjusted for inflation, basically stopped growing for most American workers starting in the late 1970s. Here is the number that should shock you. In 1979, a full-time worker earning the minimum wage could support a family of three above the poverty line. Today, a full-time minimum wage worker cannot afford a one-bedroom apartment in any state of America, not one single state. But here is the important part. Prices did not stop growing. Housing prices kept growing up. Healthcare costs kept going up. Education costs kept going up. Child care costs kept going up. Food prices kept going up. Everything a family needs to survive kept getting more expensive. But wages stayed flat. So what happened? People had two choices: either reduce their standard of living or borrow money to maintain it. And most people completely understandably chose to borrow. And this is exactly where wall number 2 comes in, right? It's okay. Wall number 2. The financial system was redesigned to profit from your debt. Now I want you to think about this very carefully, because this is the most important thing I will say today. Once upon a time, banks were boring. Their job was simple. You put your money in, they kept it safe. They lent some of it to businesses and home buyers. They charged a little interest. Everyone was happy. Banks were not rich. They were just utilities like a water company or an electricity company. Usual but not glamorous. But starting in the 1980s, something changed. The American government started deregulating the financial industry. This means it started removing the rules that had kept banks boring and safe since the Great Depression of the 1930s. And as those rules came off, banks discovered something remarkable. They discovered that lending money to ordinary people, not to big companies, but to regular working Americans, was extraordinarily profitable. Because think about this: if you lend money to a corporation at 5% interest, that is good. But if you lend money to a desperate working family at 20% interest on their credit card, that is an extraordinary business. That is a money machine, because desperate people have no choice. They need the money and they will pay whatever rate you charge. Visa, just one credit card company, made 19.7 billion in profit in 2024. 1 year, one company. That is more profit than most countries generate in their entire national budget. And their profit margin was 55%. Think about what they mean. For every dollar they take in, they keep 55% as pure profit. Apple, the most valuable technology company in the world, only has a 25% profit margin. Visa makes twice the profit margin of Apple by lending money to working Americans at 20% interest. And it is not just credit card, it is a student loan, it is car loans, it is payday loan at 400% annual interest. It is buy now and pay later for your groceries. 40% of Americans are now buying groceries on credit, right? not luxuries, not vacation, groceries, the most basic human necessity on credit, paying interest on their food. And corporations discovered something even more clever. They realized they did not have to be banks to profit from debt. Retail stores started offering store credit card, transportation companies started offering finances. Apartment buildings are now starting offer to lend your rent when you can't pay it, so you are in debt to your landlord. Everywhere you look, every industry in America is trying to become a bank because lending money to struggling American is more profitable than almost any other business. This is called financialization. The American economy has been transformed from an economy that makes things into an economy that extracts money from working people through debt. And it is extraordinarily profitable for the people at the top of this system.